Creativity isn't a talent, it's a system. And I'm about to show you my 3-part creativity system that has been completely changing the game for me. And before you say that I am not creative, just zip it, because what I'm about to show you is gonna flip everything that you ever thought about creativity on its head. So imagine you're scrolling through Instagram and you see a creator who just took something simple and made it look like this over-the-top cinematic experience. And you're thinking to yourself, how the heck is she applying sunscreen at a pool and making it look like an entire movie? And you're wondering, how can you replicate that yourself? But when you go to replicate it yourself, it looks like it was filmed with a potato. I get it, because I too once used to be that person. See, the thing is, you're actually not uncreative. Like, is that even a word? I don't know, but you're not uncreative. You just don't have a system. And I'm about to show you exactly how creativity works, because it's not some magical talent that you're just born with despite what people say. It's literally just a process. And what makes people better at the process is they practice it, it becomes a skill, and they get better at it. It's a process. We're not born being doctors. We're not born being engineers. We learn it and we study it so we get better at being the thing. That is what creativity is. See, just like you, I used to think the same thing. I watched a lot of creative creators like Justine's camera roll, who makes the most mundane activities look like it's art, like chef kiss. And sometimes I look at it and be like, well, dang, she got a creative bone in her body, because I don't know how the heck she does it. But then something happened that completely changed how I think about creativity. And it wasn't a fancy creative workshop or an expensive course. It happened while I was running my agency. Basically, it happened on accident because I was teaching my team how to be creative without even realizing that I was teaching them how to be creative. So picture this. I'm running my agency and we had this package called a website revamp. This lady came to us and she wanted us to take her black and white website and make it into this tropical experience. And so we have a list of items that you have to provide to us, one of them being a professional photo shoot. She came with the professional pictures, but they were all taken on a plain white basic setup. The pictures of her products, she sold clothes and accessories, were also taken the same way. Zero personality. I'm talking about bland like rice, okay? But she did have a vision, and I appreciated that. She wanted her brand to feel like a tropical paradise because she was selling island-inspired products, and we had did her logo for her as well as her color palette over. And so the only problem was her product photos. Like, how do we take it from that basic white backdrop to a tropical paradise that she wanted? And so I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, and I'm talking to my graphic designers, and I start directing them like, okay, well, this is how we need to think about it, guys. And maybe we should put some palm trees here, Miami Vice sunset vibes there, and, make it feel like you're actually in the tropics. And if we're not provided with it, then we need to figure out a way to create it. And I'm watching them consume what I'm saying and apply what I'm saying, which completely transformed this lady's basic photos into an entire immersive experience. And to this day, her project is one of my favorites that my agency did. See, because that's when it hit me. I'm literally teaching my team creativity, and I'm giving them a system for how to take something basic and make it engaging. But I didn't realize I was doing this until recently, hence where this system came to play. So fast forward a few weeks ago, I'm doing a session with my Bomb CEO members, which is my private mentorship group, and we're talking about content creation. We just gone through about a month and a half of a Instagram focused, a powerhouse of sessions. And I had just finished telling them how to use my brain dump system for content ideas. Now, if you're wondering what it is that I'm talking about, I actually broke down how to generate content ideas in my recent video, which I'll put on the screen. And so I'm talking to them about content ideas and they're like, okay, Mint, but how do we make this stuff actually look good? And if I'm being honest, while they had a lot of ideas, sometimes my mentees' ideas was falling flat because just the creation of it was just not it. And if y'all are watching this, there's no shade. Y'all know I told you that, right? It's all love. But when they asked me how to make it look better, I realized that I needed to teach them the same system that I had taught my graphic designers some years ago, which is now what I call my creativity system. See, this process that turned those basic white background photos into a tropical paradise is the same process that could take your basic content idea and make it a fire Instagram reel, make it a fire YouTube video, and even make it a fire photo or video shoot concept. See, the first thing that I told my Bomb CEO mentees is that you gotta go deeper than just surface level. Like, instead of just saying skincare matters, what if you said, I didn't do my skincare routine for an entire 7 days and baby, my skin was drier than the Sahara Desert. See, there's a difference. One is generic and one has a lot of added personality. You're adding personal nuance, maybe a metaphor, or even a controversial truth that makes people stop scrolling and want to get them Twitter figures ready. This is exactly what I realized that creator Justine's camera roll, which is my girl in my head. This is exactly what she does. See, the other day I noticed that she collaborated with her hairstylist as she was getting ready to go to the Beyonce concert. She could have just posted getting my hair done for the Beyonce concert, something basic like that. But instead, she dug deeper and she made it an entire experience so that you're thinking, what the heck is actually happening in this salon chair? And that's what I love about Justine. But here's where it gets interesting. Because after you dig deep, you gotta think outside of the box. See, once you have that deeper message, you have to think about how else could this be said or shown? Like, what's the opposite of what everybody else is doing? So let's go back to the Justine example. She takes this hair appointment concept and instead of just filming herself getting her hair done, she creates this whole collaboration vibe with her hairstylist where as she's getting her hair done, her hairstylist is actually recording a voiceover that they then turn into kind of like inner thoughts of her hairstylist, and they apply the funniest male British accent to it. And then what makes it even better is as that voiceover of the hairstylist's inner thoughts is playing, Justine is cutting in and out of the inner thoughts. So let's say that the voiceover is like, Justine's hair was real dry and brittle. It's drier than the Sahara. She would cut into it and say, hold on now, not too much. And so it created this interesting dynamic experience where you got to hear the hairstylist's inner thoughts. And what she was really doing was breaking down the process of how she was doing Justine's hair and the techniques she was using while being funny and sharing her inner thoughts that a lot of other hairstylists can relate to and a lot of hair clients would appreciate knowing.
This is Justine. Justine is going to Beyonce's opening show. She walked in with a ponytail that had clearly clocked out 3 business days ago.
Not too much, not too much.
Underneath that bonnet was enough hair to start a wig business. But Addie braided that hair down like rent was due, and she paid in full. Moments later, Addie offered Annette a simple request. Logical even.
I just don't want that.
Right, of course. Silly us. Trying to protect your hair, the stylist adjusts and proceeds to glue on her install.
And it's brilliant because she took something that everyone does, like getting her hair done, and completely flipped the typical approach. Now, you can say the same thing about Ashton Hall. He is this fitness influencer that kind of went from 0 to 17 million followers. What? In literal months. by taking a basic morning routine and thinking completely outside of the box. See, while everyone else is waking up, brushing their teeth, making some coffee, and going to the gym, this man is waking up, dipping his head into ice cold water, rubbing banana peels on his face, and running next to Ben's trucks with a weight coat on, or whatever that's called, like a weight vest. Like, literally. One of his reels has 500 million views, and this shows that going against the grain of what everyone else is doing, it pays off. So that brings me into the next part of my creativity formula, because this is truly the secret sauce. And this is what I was doing with the website revamp that I didn't realize until recently. See, you look at completely different industries and apply their concepts to your content. Hold on, pause, because that right there, I don't think y'all heard me. If you absolutely are stuck when it comes to creative ideas, look at a different industry and apply that concept to your content. So if you're in the hair industry, apply a concept that somebody who is in the culinary space is using. If you are in the clothing space, apply a concept that maybe gamers are using. That alone makes it creative. See, I have a business bestie who owns a natural hair care brand, and she did something that I thought was so cute and so funny and so creative. She recently had a child, so obviously before she was pregnant, and she took what Nara Smith does, you know, the creator who makes everything from scratch. I'm talking about everything. One time, Nara Smith was making Rice Krispies, and this lady made the marshmallow cream from scratch. I have never seen marshmallows made from scratch. I low-key, don't judge me, thought that marshmallows was a tree. And I feel like I Googled this one day, and I thought that I saw that marshmallows was a tree, and so, or some type of vine. Don't come for me, okay? Please, just don't come. I was young, and I love marshmallows, so I was trying to figure out where they came from so I could get some more. But I don't think they grow on trees. I'm pretty sure that they're just made with a whole bunch of sugar. But anyway, Nara Smith, she's the one who makes everything from scratch, and she dresses up in the kitchen. And she, I feel like, has like a whole bunch of kids because she's always pregnant in these videos for some reason. But she narrates her videos with this soft, kind of monotone voice while she's dressed to the nines. Well, my business bestie Kai, she applied that exact concept to her mixing her hair care products in her kitchen when she was pregnant. Same whispered voiceover, same over-the-top outfit, but instead of mixing marshmallows, she was whipping up hair products, which was dope because the comments went crazy. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, I love this concept. It's so funny. This is so cute. This is so creative. All because she borrowed a concept from the culinary world and applied it to her hair care brand. That's exactly what we did with that website revamp. See, we didn't just try to take white backgrounds and make them prettier. We took the tropical resorts, we took the Miami, we took the islands and brought that bad boy right to her website, okay? I'm talking looking at Miami Vice, like Grand Theft Auto Miami Vice, looking at aesthetic vacation photography, things that were in completely different lanes than her fashion brand, and literally just applying it to her website. And with those visual concepts that we applied, we built a tropical paradise, palm tree by palm tree, sunset by sunset, if I should say so myself. And that's when I realized that creativity wasn't just some mystical talent. It's literally just a systematic way of thinking. Dig deeper than surface level, think outside of the typical approach, and then borrow concepts from other industries. Those are the 3 parts to making anything creative. Any email, any photo shoot, any video shoot, any piece of social media content, literally anything. And if you watched my last video about creating 31 days of content, this is technically your part 2. You've got the ideas, now you need to make them actually engaging, because having a content calendar full of boring posts it's just not gonna hit or move the needle for your brand, just to be honest. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take out a piece of paper, because you need to do this. Take one of those content ideas that you brainstormed from the last video and run it through this creativity process. First, dig deeper. What's the personal story, the metaphor, the controversial truth behind this idea? Second, think outside of that box. What's the opposite of how everyone else would do this thing? What's the opposite of how everyone else talks about this thing? How could you show this differently? And then third, look at a completely different industry. What concept could you borrow and apply to your concept that is from something that's completely unrelated? Now, if you're sitting here thinking, Chanel, this sounds great and all, but I don't even know what my brand stands for or what kind of content I should be creating, then you need to check out my brand blueprint, where I share the 7 hacks I used to grow my brand to over 100,000 people across my audience. It's the perfect starting point for you if you're trying to build a creative brand, but realize that you're missing some foundational pieces. And if you're ready to really level up, then you definitely want to check out my 6-figure brand masterclass, where we go even deeper with over 2 hours of content and tons of bonuses, helping you build a true profitable brand. So here's a thought-provoking question for you. Are you going to keep making excuses about not being creative? Or are you going to start treating creativity like the learnable skill that it actually is? Because the only difference between you creating boring content and engaging content isn't talent, it's the system. And now you have the system. So if you want more strategies for building a brand that actually stands out and that sells and builds connection and loyalty and all that stuff, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram at The Brand Hustler, because I give you insights on the CEO brand that I'm building, and I teach you exactly how to think like big brands, but execute like a smart, small business. So the choice is yours. You can keep scrolling past those creative posts and getting jealous or feeling stuck, or you can start creating yourself using your new creativity system. So what's this gonna be? I will see you in the next video, Hustle Babe. Bye.